Picture this: a kingdom divided by difficult decisions, a family torn apart by protocol, and then redemption. Welcome back, royal watchers. What you're about to witness is more than just palace politics. It's a masterclass in healing, forgiveness, and the power of family bonds that transcend even the most rigid royal traditions. Let me paint you a picture of Denmark just 3 years ago. The nation was reeling from shocking news that rippled through every Danish household. Queen Margrethe, the beloved matriarch who had ruled for over 5 decades, made a decision that would shake the very foundations of the royal family. In a move that stunned royal experts worldwide, she stripped her grandsons, Prince Nikolai and Prince Felix, of their princely titles. Overnight, these young men went from being His Royal Highness to simply Count. The Danish people watched in disbelief as 2 boys they'd seen grow up in the spotlight suddenly found themselves on the outside looking in. But why? The official reason was streamlining the monarchy, reducing the number of working royals. Sound familiar? It's a trend we've seen across European royal houses. But for many Danes, this felt personal. These weren't just distant relatives. Nikolai and Felix were. They're princes too. Social media exploded with heartbreak. How could she do this to her own grandsons? One user wrote. Another said, "This isn't the Denmark I know." The pain was real, the division deep. Fast forward to January 2025. King Frederick X, now on the throne after his mother's abdication, faces his first major test of leadership. But instead of continuing the divide, he chooses a different path entirely. Picture the scene: a Marienborg palace. Just days before the king's 57th birthday, the winter Copenhagen air is crisp. But inside, something warm is brewing. Frederick has called a private family gathering. Not for the cameras, not for the press, but for healing, in front of close family members, in an intimate ceremony that speaks volumes about intention over spectacle. King Frederick does something extraordinary. He presents his nephews, Count Nikolai and Count Felix, with the Grand Cross of the Order of the Dannebrog, Denmark's most prestigious honor. Now let's be clear about what this means. This isn't just a shiny medal. The Grand Cross is typically reserved for heads of state, distinguished diplomats, and those who've served Denmark with exceptional dedication. For 2 young men who were essentially exiled from royal prominence just 3 years ago, this is nothing short of remarkable. But here's where it gets really interesting. And this is where Frederick shows his strategic brilliance. By awarding this honor, he's not just giving his nephews recognition. He's publicly declaring that they belong. Their coat of arms will now hang in the Chapel of the Orders at Frederiksborg Castle, literally cementing their place in Danish royal history forever. The Danish people's response? Pure emotion. Social media, which 3 years ago was filled with anger and disappointment, now overflows with joy and relief. "Finally, our princes are home," writes one emotional fan. Another shares, "This is the Denmark I remember, a royal family that puts love first." The comments keep coming. King Frederick understands what it means to be Danish. This is leadership with heart. But perhaps the most telling reaction comes from a grandmother in Copenhagen who tells local media, "I've been following this family for 60 years. Today feels like Christmas morning. Seeing a family heal itself gives us all hope." Even the fashion crowd is weighing in, with one cheeky comment stealing the show. Honestly, Count Nikolai should be Frederick's style advisor. That man knows how to wear a suit. It's these lighter moments that show how the Danish people have fully embraced this reunion. But let's dig deeper, because this story isn't just about Denmark. It's about leadership in the modern age. King Frederick faced a choice: continue his mother's streamlining approach, or forge his own path, he chose reconciliation over protocol, love over logistics. Royal expert Dr. Lars Hovbakke Sørensen from the University of Copenhagen puts it perfectly. This ceremony represents Frederik's vision for a modern monarchy, one that can evolve while honoring family bonds. It's brilliant leadership, disguised as a simple gesture. Think about it. In one afternoon, Frederik solved a 3-year-old crisis, demonstrated his leadership style, and reminded the world that even royal families are, at their core, still families. So here we are, royal watchers, in a world often divided by rigid rules and cold protocol. Denmark's King Frederik just showed us something beautiful, that love, patience, and strategic thinking can heal even the deepest wounds. The fairy tale isn't over. It's just beginning a new chapter, one where forgiveness wins, family matters, and sometimes the most powerful royal decree is simply saying, "You belong here." What's your take? Strategic brilliance or pure family love? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button if this story touched your heart, and subscribe for more royal stories that remind us why these families matter. Until next time, keep believing in the power of second chances and stay royal.